Hi guys, Ronda Winstead here with you again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. I don't know when it is that you're watching this video, but happy. It is good to see you, good to be with you, whatever time of day it is. And I hope you're doing well. I hope that things are going well for you. Okay, so we are on day 11, December 11th of dephemerember, hosted by Barbara with 49 Dragonflies and Luise Henzl. So today's prompts, plural, the two, one is postcard and the other is stitching, either hand or machine stitching or sewing. Sewing, they call it sewing, but same thing. Okay, so I have cut out a mailer. This is a Verizon advertisement that just came today in the mail, and I thought this is a great thickness to make a postcard. And I pulled out a little bit of sandpaper, and I am just gonna do this because, why you ask, am I doing that? Because this is shiny, and we don't want it shiny because it's more difficult for glues and gessos and that kind of thing to stand out. So that is the reason. And now we will just wipe that off, and it will be ready to adhere whatever we want to put on it. The size of my postcard, there are different sizes. This one will be a 4x6, 6 inches long and 4 inches high. What I thought I would play with today and see if I can make this happen. First of all, I have to show you. These are leftovers from projects. And I just pulled these out of my thread and snippet container. After I work on something, I don't throw the threads and things away. I keep them. And my plan is to go ahead and cover this postcard thingy, this piece of paper, piece of cardboard, stock, whatever, with some threads and little snippets of fabric and different things, to see if we can give this a good coverage. And then I plan on, I found some templates that I had from years ago. This is a tree, a little Christmas tree. My idea is to cover this with stuff, threads and whatnot, and then cover it again with something substantial. This is a scarf, you know, to lay it down and then to stitch, sew, and then put this Christmas tree on top of that. So that's the plan. We'll see how it goes. Oh, so how are you today? I hope that your world is looking well and that you are smiling as you are creating or working or whatever it is. I know that there are times when a person can't do what they want to do, but they do what they have to do. And oftentimes that includes going to work and doing all of that good stuff that goes with that. Taking care of a family, that's not an easy task, for sure. I understand about that. That's not the phase I'm living in at the present time, but I do understand living in my car or van or whatever it might be, wore a lot of different hats back in the day, juggling kids' concerts, music concerts, and sporting events, and just, parent-teacher get-togethers, and just a lot of things that way. And plus all of the, with the individual kids, and spending time and doing projects and family, and the list goes on and on and on. And actually, when hubby and I were first in the, they call it empty nester syndrome, when your kids have all flown the coop and get old enough to be out on their own, go to college, get jobs and move away and that kind of thing. And it took us a good while to get used to that. It was like, oh, whoa, we could stay out. We could, after work, I can remember in California, we were both working at the same place, different, positions, but riding to work together and whatnot. And we would be like, after work, oh, we don't have to be home. There are no kids there. Well, do you want to go to dinner? Okay. And then it would just be like, oh, it's getting, it's about 8. We don't have to go home at a certain time. It was hard for us. We were just so geared to, doing and with the kids and whatnot. And it was kind of tough to get used to all of that. But we did. We adjusted. I think, what did it take us? I think it took us about, was it 5-ish years? I know, that sounds like, God, you guys. But it did. It took a while for us to just really let go and be okay with, okay, now it's just you guys. Do whatever you want to do. And now we're totally enjoying it. And obviously, okay, I don't have strength in this right hand. Okay, well, I could trim that if I want, but do I want that much gold anyway? Could pull in some green here. What do you think? Pretty messy, huh? It's kind of messy. But that's the beauty of it, too, is this, I don't know if this is going to work, but we're sure going to give it a go and see if we can produce something that we might like. Ugh. Well, pulled that out. Let me see if I've got any more threads. Obviously, I got lots of threads. So I watched a video years ago, and it's gals in England that were doing this, and I just fell in love with what they were doing. And so I had been saving scraps, just not, I hadn't done anything at all like what they were doing with them. And so I just had the most fun then, just starting to collect and gather. And so it was just a lot of fun. All right, let's see if we've got enough. Oh my goodness. All right, let's I kind of love these, and these are just little threads or strings from the chenille bedspread that I've been cutting up and using bits and pieces of. Okay, all right, so I think what we'll do now, because I think we've got enough stuff on there, I'm going to, I don't know if this will work very well, but I'm going to start and put my glue stick on here, and we will just see. I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen? It could be really, really ugly. And if that's the worst thing, you know, it's like, okay, well, things happen. So how do you, those of you who might be empty nesters or that have already gone through that phase, how was it for you, and how did you handle things, and what did you do, and have you moved on? Are you doing well? Have you found other interests? Or, I mean, I know of people that are just like, God, why are you so like freaking out? Now you can do anything you want. I was like, well, I don't know. I like my kids. I like my family. I kind of, you know, sort of miss them. But, yeah, it just, I don't even know what got me started on that train of thought, really. So, have you been watching the videos that everybody's creating? I will say, Barbara, you're in trouble, girlfriend, because you like hate triangle tuck spots. And Luise made a triangle tuck spot, and it's adorable. And I'm sure you will think it's adorable too. I'm just giving you a bad time, sweetie. This is like really original. This is called art. Now, I'm trying to think of how one would adapt to, say, if you're just gluing. And I would say if you're just gluing, that you're going to just have to, you know, put things down and then just glue here and there as you're putting things down, so that you're still getting, you're still having fun, you're still having pretty good coverage, but that it's being held a little bit to, you know, to a, so it's not like way high, an inch high. And what we're going to do too with this is we're going to just, and I think as I talk, I'll just like do this. Let's put a little more there. And let's slap a little thing right there. This is selvage. This is actually pretty fun, you guys. And I haven't played with this. Usually what I do is I make paper fabric, or, you know, some such of a something or other. Okay, now I think we've got that covered enough. Let's go ahead and just put, I got glue on me. That's not my favorite thing to have hanging on. So we'll just wipe that off. And let's go ahead and cover just a little bit more on this side, so we know we've got all of this this white. And you can do any, you know, I mean, obviously it doesn't have to be Christmas and certainly not pink. I do love pink. But I also love traditional Christmas. I love blue Christmas. You know, I love all kinds of colors. I like a lot of things. Well, I'm just not locked into one thing all the time. I don't believe anyway. Okay. I think that's okay. Now, wish me luck. Wish me luck. Cross your fingers for me. Let's see. Let me kind of get my piles of scrap, and we are talking definitely scrap fabric bits. Fabric and ribbon. Okay, we'll just kind of clear that off. Then, let's see, will be this pattern. But first, we want to put this on. And this is so pretty. I love this scarf. Let's see. I want to make it big enough. Let me get my fabric. All right. Get that out of the way as well. So what I'm going to do then is kind of turn that over. I think instead of glue stick on this one, I will do my art glitter glue to kind of get started. We'll just sort of pull that, then we'll turn it around opposite direction, and we will do the same on this other side. I sure hope this turns out. I sure hope this doesn't end up in the ugly basket where it's like, well, and you know, if it's really horribly ugly, I don't even have to produce this video. I can just shut it down. And you guys will never know. Me being me, though, I'd be like, well, guess what I did wrong? And feel guilty but not telling you, so then I'd tell you all about it anyway. Okie doke. So let's do this. Now I don't want to pull too tight on the end because I want to be able to, this one will be pulled, the tighter one. Okay. Now you can also hand sew. There can be hand sewing here too. So if you were to decide that I don't have a sewing machine, I don't like to sew, I don't want to do that with a machine, but you have done some things by hand before, that certainly is an option. I mean, if you're going to follow this challenge, let's face it, you got to do some sewing because that's the challenge, sewing, either by hand or by machine. I am doing by the machine. I'm choosing to do by the machine. Okay, let's see how that's going to look. Kinda, I don't know. We shall see, my friends. Oh. Okay. Okay. All enclosed. And then we will be ready for a tree. So now this step I will turn the camera off while I go over to my sewing machine, and I'm going to stitch around. I have pink thread on my machine, variegated, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to stitch, just randomly stitch all around. No rhyme, no reason, just to do it. And that will help to tack it on. And that will also help. I will secure these edges a little bit more. Oh, you know what? Before we do that, let's put, you guys, let's put a little bit of paper. Just so, because this is going to turn into a pocket. I'm going to have this be a pocket, and I don't want anything to slip out. Does that make sense? So let's just kind of trim some of that off that might not want to cooperate with us. And we will just go around the edge here. And the reason that I want to do that now is because when I stitch, then it will also secure that paper in, and that way whatever I put in the pocket, it won't have a tendency to grab from things on the inside or to pull out at another time. So yeah, let's give that a go. We'll just kind of do that, and then we shall go ahead and trim up. Oh, it's good to open it. And trim it. Okay, now I'm going to turn off the camera. Here we go. So we'll look at the before, and then we'll show you the after in just a minute. And here we have the after. So that's a lot of stitching, and as you can see, you know, nothing brilliant or anything. It's just stitching. Okay, I'm really kind of liking this. And I zigzagged around the edge, and I don't know if you noticed, but when I trimmed for the other sheet of paper, this got frayed just a little bit, but that's fine. I don't mind that at all. So we'll just give you a good look-see. All right, so technically I have already done the challenge, but we want to add a Christmas tree. After all, we're into the Christmas. Alrighty, so now, do I want to put the tree in? Let's think about this just a minute. Remember this from I took a copy. I have the original here. I think this was day 8 or 9. I don't remember. But this would be kind of cool if I could use this paper. Do I have any left? That is what I'm not sure about. Or I could do the green with fabric. Let me, real quick, take a peek, see. Okay, I think maybe it came from this pad. Let's see. Let's just give it a glance, hopefully. Aha! Okay. Well, that makes me feel good. Okay, so then what I want to do is just trace and cut this tree out. I'm not trying to be super precise, I suppose. I mean, it doesn't really matter. And, you know, you could just draw a tree your own, and I'm sure that would be just as fine. I just will just cut around. This is a good use too of some of my scrapbooking papers because quite frankly I used to use them all the time, and I went through a phase where I did a lot of scrapbooking of, you know, for the kids and whatnot. But I was never like some to do it really well and be really super consistent about it. I was always a little bit behind, generally speaking. And then with some of the cool scrapbooking spreads, it's like you use 1 or 2 pictures and you use a whole page, so it takes up a lot of room too. Which, there's nothing wrong with that. And I loved it, and I enjoyed doing it. And I don't know, one day, we were just looking for something different a few years ago, and we happened upon junk journaling, and that's kind of where we've landed. Okay, let's turn it around. Cute full. And there's just a teeny bit of green in there, which kind of brings this out too, which I love that. So let's go ahead and ink around the edge here. And I'm trying to decide, do I want to stitch the little tree on, or do I want to just glue it? And do we want to perhaps do some ornaments on here, or do some tinsel, or, you know, do we want to decorate our tree a little bit? I guess. Do we want to decorate our little tree? What do you think? Tell you what, I'm going to leave the tree undecorated. You tell me if you want me to decorate the tree on your comments in this video today. I'm recording it on the 10th, but this is for the 11th, okay? You tell me if you want me to decorate my little tree, and I will. If not, I think she's adorable just as she is, and I do believe that she could use a little star. I'm not sure, maybe a little button for that part, and maybe over here a tag or something. Oh, let's see, I just printed out, I bought these last year, and this is, who is this? Anna Valen, AVA, avartdecor.etsy.com. If you're interested in those. So let's find a tag. Where's Christmas tide, crash, Bethlehem, star, manger, North Pole, sleigh bell, Christmas stocking, ornament, or Christmas tree. I think Christmas tree might be very appropriate. What do you think? Let's see. And there's cool other ones as well. Okay. We're being brave, you guys. We're not using our mat board and rotary cutter to trim this. It's kind of freaking me out. And I can't laugh because that makes me shake and mess up my trimming. Ah! Oh, goodness gracious. All right. So today, weather-wise, we have had fog, and we've had high humidity, just a little bit. It was 74 degrees, and it appears, according to the weather people, that we could be in for a tornado warning. Anyway, in the county, I am not too terribly worried that we're in danger, but it has been real high humidity. Okay, so it's not quite done. I like this, but she's a little bit plain. Now, maybe, what does she need, you guys? What does she need? This is going to be fun, because this too will go on a page. It'll become a pocket, and I'll stitch it on 3 sides or glue it, on 3 sides. Something, let's take a peek, see some of our other cutouts. Let's see, what do we got? I've got all different shops that I've just kind of put together a bunch, whoops, to keep them together, and I guess those are all tags, so I'll leave those as they are. I think most of these, that I'm looking at right now are from Roxy Creations, Rachel. And in my Facebook group, I've asked her if it's okay. I figured it was, but I just wanted to double check with Rachel and make sure it was okay if we, in my Facebook group, if we went ahead and highlighted her. We're going to do the stitching. I am going to do it, and I invited members in my Facebook group to do the same if they wanted to, so now that could be kind of cute, huh? Let's see. Or, there's just some fun things. So yeah, I'm ready to go for it. Oh, I completely forgot about this. I completely forgot. Let's see, what if we do this? What if we did that like that, and then that like that? I don't like that. Okay, so keep looking. And sometimes it's just like, keep looking, keep looking. There's always something wonderful, but sometimes you just have to work for them. Maybe it doesn't need, that's cute too, isn't it? And obviously this is meant to go this way because the angels aren't flying. I don't think they'd be smiling if they were upside down. At least their hair would be hanging down, right? Okie doke. Well, what about something like like this. Only that should go like that. We could do that and do something of that nature. That would look okay. We could do this. We could do... It's very sweet. And I think a lot of these are probably Catholic images, which doesn't matter. I like them. I like them. Okay. I don't know, guys. That part's just kind of like not coming quite together, at least not quite yet. They're wonderful. Let's see what else we might have that could work. Let's see, what are these? What are these? Too big. I don't think we want a pocket on a pocket. Do we want a pocket on a pocket? Okay. No, no, no. Now, okay, let's pull out this other little bunch of, let me slide those over, and let's see what else we might have that could work. They're cute, aren't they? Oh, and I didn't even think of, you know, Tim Holtz perhaps too. Okay. Two. Too big. I really like that, but it's just not quite. Just not quite. Okay, I'm not sure how much got cut off because I forgot to delete yesterday's video, and I look up and it says internal memory full. So I apologize for anything that got weirded out there. So as you can see, what I'm doing now is I'm just pulling in different little bits and pieces. Remember from the paint chip one? Yeah, I got a little piece of that. And I love that green, that shade of green. And I found a little yellow star button that will go nicely here. So I kind of like these other elements, and it wasn't working finding an image. And so sometimes it's like there was a reason for that. So let's go ahead and continue on. I will round these corners. And then I will edge around them as well. And we'll just kind of play with this a little bit and see what looks good, and then we shall be done, my friends, for December 11th. This was fun. This was a lot of fun. And I really am in love with how that turned out. So, yeah, I just think that was lots of fun. Really doesn't matter which side I edge. And of course, music, I just I think music goes so well with the vintage feel and whatnot with Christmas. It just goes really nicely. All right, now let's see how we want to position these little guys. And how much do I want to take over? Do I want to take it over there, or do I want to kind of play with it a little bit, have it come down like this and such, and then we could do something like that. We could bring this in, still just a playing, and we can go ahead and put that in there. Add our Christmas tree, add this. You know, I kind of like this down a little more, maybe a little more scrunched. And there is a right and a wrong side of crocheted. I don't know if you know that or not, but let me show you. This is the right side. Now let me show you the back side. Can you tell the difference? The back side is just a little bit flatter, and the right side you see these little tiny threads popping up. Anyway, just a little, I don't know. You wanted to know that, right? Oh, golly. Okay. So, let's see. And I don't mind if that covers up a little bit of the tree, Christmas tree. And you know what? I'm going to make an executive decision here, because I think that I just want the Christmas tree. I might be wrong, but I kind of like having more of the green show through, and then we can position that a little bit more. I like that. I do. I like that. Okay, so what to glue first? We'll take them off, and we shall begin. And for this, I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac because it's gluing to a fabric layer. We do the little dance every time. Okay. It's really quite irritating, if I'm being honest, and I try to be, but if I'm, maybe if I'm being more blunt, I'd just be like, I like the glue, don't get me wrong, I do like the glue, but sometimes it's just irritating trying to get it out of the container. Okay. But I still use it because it does a great job. So let's just, and these may not be exactly as I showed, and that will be okay. I'm gonna go ahead and get our tree down. So I hope that you are getting a little bit of inspiration at least. And I don't know what your thoughts are, but I do really, really like being able to see different ideas, different things that people have, whoops, have made work. That will go there, but I think I'm going to stitch. Let's do this. Let's stitch some thread in there. Let's pull that out a bit more. Okay. And come on. Okay. So then we will just do that, and then we'll trim this off and glue it with that big bubble of Fabri-Tac. Now see, that little piece is going in my scrap fabric that I showed you just a minute ago. Don't you just love these? There's the bubble. I don't. I'm being sarcastic, very sarcastic now. So I don't like to waste that, so we'll go ahead and put that down. Oh, golly. Golly, golly, golly. Let's do that over in there. We may be really messing this up now. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see how that works. Okay. Now we will, and the Fabri-Tac will dry clear. Okay. Okie doke. Now, and then she said, okay, this is coming along nicely. I think we'll go ahead and put this up, and we'll start again with the art glitter glue. Because most of it, well, a lot of it is going to be glued to there and that. Okay. Yay. We're almost done, my friends. I hope you've enjoyed your time here. I sure love it when you come and visit with me. I enjoy my time creating and sharing with you some fun things, hopefully, some things that you're interested in. I love the fact that some of you are interested in the same kind of art and whatnot that I am. That, I think, is just the coolest thing ever. Okay, now we're just going to do a bunch of little bubbling here to go ahead and put this piece of cheesecloth. We're just going to kind of scrunch that up there. Try to do that gently. And then we will get our little piece of crochet. I love crocheted pieces, and I've enjoyed crocheting myself. I used to do a lot more than I do now. I just think that's pretty. Just as it is. Just as it is. Okay, let's go ahead and glue a good amount so that will stay down nicely. Okay. Something I need to tell you, or I want to share with you, our youngest son is coming to visit us. He will be here tonight. This video is for Saturday, so he will be here Saturday night. We're picking him up at the airport in Memphis at 11 p.m. flying in from Texas, where he lives, and he is coming to spend a couple of days with us. He's single, and we're just totally thrilled. So I wanted to let you know that I may not be videoing during that time. So there may be a couple of days where you don't see a video from me. And if that is a concern, just know I'm fine. It's just we're having our son here and spending it, because it's only a couple of days. And so we want to spend as much time as we can with him, obviously, before we take him back to the airport on Tuesday, super early in the morning, and he flies out to head back. Okay, this is it, guys. So again, you tell me, those that yay or nay decorate the tree, and you can just put yes or no. And those that have the most, I will do that. Decorate the tree or not decorate the tree before we put it on a page. All right, thanks guys for joining me. I love you. I hope that you are doing well. So until next video, have a fabulous day. Bye-bye now.